Bringing out your best is her recipe for success.
And today we get to meet the creative and successful Latina behind Blush Boutique.
Yes, I love her. Wait till you meet her. Today on
Su Vida. You know she's a Cárdenas. Welcome to Su Vida, your life. I'm J.R. Cárdenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez. And today we're at one of my favorite places to shop, Blush Boutique. And this is where women come when they want to look stunning for a special event.
Like a TV show, quinceañera, a wedding, or a divorce.
In addition to her own thriving business, Rosa
Cárdenas,
which is not related to JR,
not yet,
also partners up with stylists and designers to help them create their own successful brand.
We're going to check that family tree.
Okay, I think we should.
Here at Blush Boutique, what we like to offer, a one-stop shop. We started with a retail idea, and it's kind of converted into more of a full-service type of boutique. We call it a boutique, not so much a boutique. My daughter is the one that came up with the combination of combining boutique and the word beauty. Since we started as a boutique, a lot of people are expecting more of a retail type of service. But then as I, talk to them a little bit more, they realize that it's more of a service industry that I'm offering to the client versus more of a retail type. So she said, why don't we, rebrand? So that kind of took us back into the rebranding stages. And we decided to call it boutique instead of just a boutique. We offer hair services, we offer nail services, makeup, lash extensions. We'll also be tanning every Saturday. We will have that opportunity for clients to come in and take some tanning. Definitely beauty comes from within. I always try to emphasize and educate more than anything on how we need to really solidify the relationship that we have with ourselves. We focus so much on the relationships that we have with our partners, with our friends, with our co-workers, but we kind of tend to push our relationship with ourselves on the back burner on a continuous basis, especially as women. When we feel good inside, we tend to look good. And we're here to service you guys, to try to make you guys feel as special and great as you guys may want to feel. We're here for any service, whether you guys need makeup, hair, lashes, tanning. I really, really recommend Blush. It's not just because it's coming from me, but really the people here, the professionals here will give you that attention that no one else can give you but Blush.
You can see some of the beautiful work of the artisans that Rosa works with right here. But if I were you, I'd get here soon because Vanessa, she's on shopping mode.
What do you think of this one?
We'll be right back with more Su Vida right after this. I see this more your type.
Oh, I like the purple.
Matches your eyes.
Oh.
Every year, Cox Communications recognizes Hispanic women entrepreneurs in Arizona. This marks the 5th year we celebrate outstanding leaders in our community. This year, we have the pleasure to recognize Edith Villalobos Zamora, owner of MV Design Build, and Candice Carrillo, owner of Stillwell House in Tucson. We are also proud to recognize Rosa Cárdenas, owner of Blush Boutique, and Jessica Reina, owner of Colados Coffee and Crepes in Phoenix. Through their hard work and dedication, these ladies are paving the way for the next generation of leaders. Their leadership and entrepreneurial spirit are perfect examples of the rapid growing women-owned businesses throughout the country. Cox Communication is proud to recognize this year Latina entrepreneurs, and we are excited to continue our tradition of supporting businesses in Arizona.
You're watching Su Vida, your life, brought to you by Chicanos por la Causa. Welcome back to Su Vida. We're at Blush Boutique, and we're watching Karen work her magic.
Yes, she's a makeup artist, and she's already working on her beautiful model, Ruby. And a really good makeup artist brings out your bone structure. It's called contouring, JR.
I used to have cheekbones.
Until you ate too many truffles.
About 6 eclipses ago. Anyways, hey, a good boneyard in Tucson? It's the airplane boneyard. Not many people get to see it.
I know.
That's why you should watch Su Vida, because we'll know all the cool places.
That's right, so check it out.
We're We are at the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group, better known as the Boneyard to most people, here on Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, Arizona. It would be awesome if the airplanes could talk. Oh, the stories they would tell. Most of the aircraft here are from Vietnam and to Desert Storm and the current global war on terrorism era. Back in the 50s, you know, when they were pulling parts off, and literally the airplane would sit out there until they picked all the parts off. How it got its name as Boneyard is it looked like skeletons out there after a while because they picked so many parts off the airplane. But they don't look that way today. This is not a junkyard or a salvage yard. Most of these airplanes do return to flight, and this is the only place in the world where they're regenerated to full flight status from here. The reason that we're here in Tucson, Arizona is for two reasons. One, this city has more days of sunlight than any other major city in the continental United States. That reduces the amount of corrosion that can get in the aircraft, so they're able to store much longer. And also the caliche soil here packs hard like concrete. So this is 2,600 acres, but most of it is just literally desert floor, and the airplanes are towed and stored right on the dirt, so it is very efficient. Roughly 4,000 aircraft stored here, 7,000 engines are stored here, almost 1 million tools to make airplanes are here. So even if you had to make a brand new airplane today of a B-52, we have all the tools here to take them out and actually put them in a factory and make a brand new airplane if you had to. There's about 700 people that work on AMARG on any given day.
We take it for granted what we see and what we do here every day, but the bigger picture is that we support the warfighter. We have people that were in the Army, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Navy. We all work together now as civilian employees for the Air Force and get these planes ready to fight again. We're always ready to take on the next challenge, take on the next workload, to see how we can assist and help the Air Force continue to strive.
One of the ways that we're able to do this workload is called art of the possible. The technicians behind me are already inventing faster ways to take the parts out of the airplane so they can get them back in the airplane faster. So without any sunk cost to the Air Force, we're taking on more and more work, being more efficient with the same fixed cost. That's called art of the possible. We're not only doing a depot overflow work to help the Air Force, but we're the first to be FAA certified since the Air Force Sustainment Center stood up. This is why the term Boneyard doesn't do good justice to the full capacity and capabilities of what the air park here does.
This is what we love to do. Like the flag that's hung behind us, we just take pride in everything that we do. These planes go out there and fly in the sky with these brave men and women that keep us free every day.
I always pass by the Boneyard on my way to Tucson to climb Mount Lemmon on my bike, and I always wonder what it was.
Always, huh? Yeah. Well, now you know.
Oh, Vanessa, do you know what this is?
Of course I know what that is. It's a cotton ball.
Oh no, this is the link to your past, and you would never know what they made with it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Check this out.
Paul Litchfield was the 11th generation of descendant of the people who came over on the Mayflower. In the early part of the 20th century, they had done a study out here, they being the government, to see if this land had possibilities for growing things. Well, World War I hit, and Goodyear needed what they called long staple cotton to weave into a cloth to reinforce their tires so that they would be more puncture-proof for the war effort. That was really kind of the first war that was fought on rubber tires. So they were desperate for this cotton. So they sent Paul Litchfield out here to oversee the subsidiary, which they named the Southwest Cotton Company, and they cleared the land and grew the cotton, and they had a crop out. They came out in early 1917, and by the fall of 1917, they had a crop, and they established 3 ranches, one in Chandler, and out here they called it Litchfield Ranch, west of the Agua Fria, and then they had a 3rd ranch called Marinette up in the Sun City area.
Her parents and my grandparents came from the mining towns of Bisbee, and they left there because of the unhealthy conditions, so they came to Marinette Ranch to work. And Litchfield Park was asking for workers to come and work in the fields, and they would provide their homes for them. And they settled in Camp 54, and that's where they worked.
It was in 1933
when I got here.
And I was around 8.
Her parents passed away. She and her siblings were left without any parents. And my grandmother, which was her mother's sister, was a widow also with 5 children. She didn't want any of the children separated, so she took in Mrs. Cons and her sister and her 2 brothers, and they went to live with my grandmother and them in the camps.
Many of them came from the mining towns in Arizona and New Mexico. Some came from Texas, some came from Colorado, and then a fairly significant number of them came from Mexico. Many of those Mexican people that came from that area wanted to stay, and so they did stay and applied for citizenship. Well, they were the people, the primary bulk of the people, at least out here at Litchfield Ranch, that worked the land. They tilled the soil, they planted the seed, they harvested the cotton, they helped the company perfect the seeds out here.
I remember my mother saying when she was growing up that when she came to work in the fields for the first time that she cried all day long. She said she didn't realize it was going to be so difficult and to work in the fields and the hard work that they did.
I grieve for them when they tell me how they've lost that sense of community. I wish we could model ourselves after some of those things that I see in those Mexican American communities. I absolutely adore them. So.
Cotton is still an important industry here in Arizona.
But you don't see as many cotton fields as you used to, like we did back in the day, unless you live out in Levine like I do.
Yeah, that's right. So when my parents first bought their house way back when, it was nothing but cotton fields around it. But guess what's there now?
What?
The Cardinal Stadium.
Thanks a lot, Cardinals.
All right, well, now it's time to see what kind of magic Karen has been working on with our beautiful model Ruby here at Blush Boutique. You ready for the before?
Let's do it.
Okay.
And here is her after.
Ooh la la, she did an amazing job. I need her to do my makeup.
Yes, you do. Hey, Ruby, call me.
Maybe she can give you some cheekbones.
Maybe you can tune in when we come right back with more Su Vida right after this.
Maybe right here, like some right here.
Maybe all of this. Before the NFL, before college ball, every star athlete played under the Friday night lights. Catch the stars of tomorrow on the field today on the high school football game of the week, now in its 36th season on Your View, Arizona.
Hey, welcome back to Su Vida. I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
And I'm J.R. Cardenas, and we're hanging out at Blush Boutique.
Yes, where the emphasis on you looking good, and that starts with great eyes.
And for great eyes, you need great lashes, and you can get them here. You should get them.
Ooh. So when you look good, you feel good. And speaking of feeling good, Valle Del Sol is a local organization that helps families during difficult times. And they use a different approach, combining mind, body, and spirit. Take a look.
Valle Del Sol represents hope, hand up for folks who need assistance, with either healthcare or social services. We provide a wide spectrum of social services and health care services for folks who need them, particularly people who are below or at the poverty level, who can't afford that, get the help anywhere else.
Thank you for calling Valle Del Sol. How may I assist you?
Crisis Transition Navigator helps and guides an individual that is going through a crisis to come up with a crisis, a plan, treatment plan, to get them out of their crisis and to keep them out of the crisis. Being homeless, not having a roof over their head, one-on-one counseling, needing some substance abuse treatment, need them to connect to a medical provider or an SMI evaluation or a psychiatric evaluation.
Well, Valle Del Sol was founded in 1970, and then from there we've grown now to those humble beginnings to now have 16 clinics in Arizona and New Mexico with over 300 employees.
So I was a patient at Valle del Sol, and through one of the behavioral health counselors, I heard that there was a position opening up for a crisis transition navigator. I got involved with classes to get my certification so that I can possibly be a crisis navigator for Valle del Sol. I was homeless, I was addicted to substances. I needed counseling, not knowing where to get the help at. As soon as I found out about that, I knew that there was help. I got involved with it, and now I'm providing those services to others through Valle del Sol. Your first month's rent and also a second.
I found this program out through a friend that I was going through a crisis,
and he introduced me to Freddie. He's my case manager or caseworker. He's been a mentor to me, trying to get back to my feet spiritually and mentally, help me better myself and my family.
I was staying in a Cass homeless shelter, and my caseworker that I had there teamed up with crisis navigation through Valle Del Sol. That's how I met Alfredo Mendoza. He hung in there and was dedicated and loyal. Didn't take him any time at all to find me a home.
Here's your little surprise that I have for you. Keys to your new place.
Oh, thank you.
We couldn't do what we do without the people who work here. The breath, the lifeblood of everything that happens there. The most important part of what we do as far as delivering the services that we do to the community.
There's hope. If you think there's no hope, there's hope. You just gotta look for it.
I am so grateful to everybody that was in the teamwork. Especially Freddie Mendoza.
I see Valle del Sol like my family, you know, because I know that family, you know, the way I was raised up, that we pull for each other.
Valle del Sol is a great organization doing important work.
Speaking of great things, you ready to see the work that Samantha did on Margarita's eyelashes?
Yes, I am. Okay, so here's the before. Take a look at the after.
Margarita, call me.
What a difference they make, right?
Yeah. Maybe I should get mine done.
I don't know. We'll check with Samantha during the break.
Yeah, we'll be right back with more Su Vida right after this. I got $6 in my pocket.
I think it costs a little more than that, JR.
Welcome back to Su Vida. We're here at Blush Boutique, and we've seen some amazing stylists at work today.
And you know, JR, it's amazing what a little blush will do.
Yeah, but still the magic still wears off.
That's true. But before that happens, make sure you find yourself an amazing photographer to capture the look forever.
Actually, we found one for you. Meet Caleb Alvarado.
My name is Caleb Alvarado. I am an architect turned photographer, born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I grew up in a poor family, so we'd buy a lot of stuff at garage sales. So I remember my dad came home with a film camera, and I was like, this thing is so cool. Like, I wanted to play with it, and then my dad was like, well, I'll just figure it out. So then I remember I bought some film and started taking photos with it, and they were just horrible. I mean, seriously, I spent so much money on film. I didn't have a clue. I've never taken a photography class, and it was just always about what I thought looked good. After a while, because I messed up so many rolls of film, I only had 24 shots. I had to figure out, like, slow down, make sure everything's lit right, everything has to look right, and you know what I mean? It's just, so I'm not wasting film. I did a semester of architecture in Mexico City. And I thought I was more interested in buildings, but I remember that trip, I realized that I was more interested in people. We didn't even design a building that semester. It was more about how people interact with each other. So then when I went to my thesis year, I was in architecture, but it was the idea of how do people connect to each other. And I stayed with architecture, but I've always looked for, I guess, connection between people. My favorite photograph that I've ever taken is a 4x5 photograph of my mom. You see that photograph and you know that she is a mother. Like, there's a care, there's something in her eyes, there's like experience in life. There's just like everything that I've always wanted in a photograph, it's in that photograph. For me, I want to feel something for every single photograph. Like, I have to feel something. If it's one photograph that makes me feel something, then I feel like I've accomplished something. Today we are at Block Studio in downtown Phoenix, and we are going to do a little motion, a little bit of photographs and film photographs of two, like, the most athletic, most amazing dancers I've ever met, the Wozniak brothers. So it's Swalik and Michael. These guys are amazing. They both dance for the Phoenix Ballet, but they are seriously two amazing people, not just dancers, but you see the emotion. The way I try to find emotion in my photographs, and I think I show it, you'll see it in their dancing. I normally don't like when people smile in my photographs because I want a little bit deeper of a photograph. That's what I want. For me, the eyes say everything. I don't know anything about you, you don't know anything about me, and just try to connect with that person. No words are said, exchange of like emotions and feelings, and that's just that idea of connecting to people, of interacting with a cross-section of all walks of life. I mean, it's an amazing experience.
Well, if you want to see talent of a different type, check out this artist. He's one of my favorites right now.
Because he painted you like an Aztec princess.
Yes, he made my waist so small. Can we really make that happen in real life?
It disappeared in 2008.
No, like 2012. Anyways, check it out. It's amazing.
My name is Tim Lowry, and I'm a freelance artist. I started creating my own art at the age of about 6 or 7. I got started in airbrushing in high school back in 1989. I was involved in a magnets art program at South Mountain, and they had use of the airbrush there, and that's when I started airbrushing. Once I have a project, I have the initial drawing, the reference of what I'm going to use. The process of when I'm airbrushing, I get pretty much lost in it. I lose all sense of time. I don't remember from the next day to the next of what I did on the art. It's so incredible. I get lost in it. The type of art I do is mostly automotive art right now, dealing with lowriders, custom motorcycles, cars. Most of the time I get the ideas from the customers. They give me a base of what they want, and I pretty much take control after that. I just take their ideas and kind of make it my own, and I kind of add my style and artistic knowledge to what they want to achieve with it. The thing they're most surprised about is how much detail I can put into a piece in the amount of time that it takes. When I create something for a client, the best part is seeing their reaction. That's probably more worth than getting paid, actually.
Well, we reached the end of the show. Thanks for watching another Su Vida.
Yes, and we want to give a special thanks to our friends here at Blush Boutique, your one-stop shop to looking fabulous.
Speaking of fabulous, we want to say hola to our friends in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Sin City.
Yes.
Hola, Las Vegas.
Hello. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Just look up Your View.
We'll see you next time.
Right here on
Su Vida.
Well, I'll be back. I don't know if you will. Bye.
Did I get fired?